Hello, Aries. Welcome to Tarot by Cecilia on Patreon. This is your monthly tarot guidance for your sign for the month of October 2016. As I'm getting ready to do this, and obviously you're the first one on my list to do, I'm thinking, wow, this is the third month already. Where does the time go? I'm really enjoying Patreon. I hope you are too. And I do hope to do a lot more on here. So I thought I'd mention that while we're at it. Now, not as much to talk about this month. We've talked about October for so long. And now to get here, the list is much shorter. And I'm loving it. Okay? On the 6th, Mercury will leave shadow. Woohoo! That's like the big deal to me. The whole thing, just getting away from it. On the 7th, Mercury will move on into Libra. So we'll be done with all that Mercury and Virgo energy that we've had for way too long now. On the 16th, there'll be a full moon in your sign. Alrighty then. On the 18th, Venus will enter Sagittarius. Now on the 22nd, we start seeing all of our energies shifting over. The sun will go into Scorpio. On the 24th, Mercury will go into Scorpio. You see how quick that was for Mercury? Once it's not involved in any retrograde motion, it doesn't stay anywhere for that long. On the 30th, there'll be a new moon in Scorpio. So, it looks like it's going to be a very interesting month. And at the same time, I think a much more peaceful month. You didn't hear me say eclipse. You didn't hear me say anything was going retrograde. Yeah, it's like one of the easier months of the year. They're like, finally, you get to turn your vision toward what is it that you need. And pretty much that's what it's about. Like, what is it that you need? What will make you feel secure? Okay, is it within your home? Is it within relationships? That type of thing. Now, Jupiter is in Libra, and that, of course, is a big thing as well when it comes to relationships. And for you, it's in your marriage house. So maybe now that the dust is cleared from all of the retrogrades and everything that's been going on, you'll start to see what's going on. If you're in a marriage, hopefully you see it improve. And these first 9 months of the year, get them behind you. All right? And if you're just in a relationship, maybe you'll see it take on a better shape and form than what it's been. Because I think there's just been too many things happening. And I know the last couple months I've been a little rough on the Aries people. But there have been some issues that needed to be stood up to and dealt with, it would seem. So, here we are. I actually want to say, in this, it's almost like a quest. All right, it's like a newfound vision as you head into this month. We're right on the heels of that awesome new moon that we had in Libra on September the 30th. And I think you're actually finally ready. Time to get going, time to move on, time for that new chapter. I'm tired of feeling trapped by it. A lot of it was self-created, okay? A lot of it was self-created, but now it's what will make my life secure. I really, truly like this for you. This is a big change from what I've been seeing the last couple of months. Maybe it had to just get to a certain point and finally say, okay, enough is enough. Let's get this show back on the road, because that's what I see here is that, return of more balanced emotions. And it's not as much a looking to the future as it is having that vision for change, necessary change, okay? Something that creates a better balance. So, because you can't really take charge of your life again if you're not doing it in a realistic fashion. And that's very, very strong here. So there are some positive things here. Wow, this just kind of made me smile as I was looking at this, because I was just talking about the Jupiter in Libra, with the marriage aspect and everything. Things are changing. You might not, every Aries may not all see it happen in a day. If you're looking for that special someone, or you think you found that special someone, but something's changing within a relationship, or there's a relationship coming. So I'm liking that. Okay. Now, one of the things that I see here is that when it comes to, your wishes and your hopes and dreams, and being realistic about them all, I think things are being shown to you for what they truly are, which that's actually very important. And when we start the month of October, Venus is actually still in Scorpio, okay, up until the 18th. So, when it comes to love, when it comes to money, and Venus in Scorpio, remember I said last month about getting down to the truth of things. Yeah, like showing things for what they really are. So I'm thinking this goes beyond even the love aspect here. It's time. Like all those things that had to do with home and security and love and house, it's like time to get your act together. Like really, time to get your act together. Take that. I think even in one of my weeklies that I did, I talk about like that list. Get that list out. What's all that stuff that you should have been doing for the last 9 months that you have not done? Now's the time. You can't hold that position any longer. It's time. Like what I see here is fixing things and moving forward. I don't care if they're real repairs that you have to make, or things that you need to work out, things that are not right in your life. It's here. This month, October, this is what you're doing. That is your reality. You can't sit still. You can't say, I'm going to keep it this way. It's time to go forward. That's the only motion that I see here, is forward motion. And that's good. All right. Can't be going backward. Can't be resisting the change. So I want to say, hopefully, a change in routine. Okay. That would be most welcome with so many of you. And there's more. Like, see, what's been coming is coming slowly, but finally, it's like this month you realize that it's arrived. And I think that's what gets you in gear to take control of things and start putting them back together. Okay. At the same time, and it kind of sounds a little contrary to the whole thing, but you can finally relax. I mean, because the last 9 months, just talking about this year, not talking about anything else that's happened in any prior years, how I usually talk about 5 years or whatever. Just these last 9 months have been like, how you start a year and you're like, I'm going to do this, and nothing happened. Nothing happened. I think some positive changes came for many of you, but along the way, a lot of it was 1 step forward, 2 steps back. And finally, it's like you've got that all clear. You can start to work out your plans. You can start to fix things in your life. This is good. This is very good. Maybe a little tired, maybe a little worn out from the whole ordeal, but the success puts you, going forward. Starting to look more at the future. Okay. And I'm sorry, because I'm like ready to laugh again, because when I think about certain Aries and things they have going on, there is a betrayal around you. Okay. And somewhere around Columbus Day, which is October the 10th in the U.S., It's Thanksgiving in Canada. Keep that in mind around that time. There's this just keeping an eye on things. And it could literally be keeping an eye on things. Like if someone deceived you or someone betrayed you, and it's not like it almost shows it like hiding in the bushes, but whether you have to hide in the bushes or you just need to observe from afar to get to the truth, I think you will. Like I said, we've got, Venus in Scorpio as the month starts out, so there's going to be a big quest for truth when it comes to many things. Scorpio believes in the truth. So I see you looking over what you have, what you don't have, what you want, what you do want. Part of it's relationships. I kind of, what I like about this, when I look around for you, Aries, for this month, is I think that your relationships that matter are improving. Okay? Where they were maybe not up to par before, from what I can see back in the beginning, that was all you're doing. Whatever it was that was going on, it was, just making it difficult, and you couldn't even see it. I hope that you're seeing it now. I mean, like, because there's just like needing to come to terms with it. But there's some big positive change coming for you this month. It's not, how like we always talked about that big thing. I think that somewhere by the end of September, that big thing was resolving itself, and things are just moving along. And now you, like everyone else, can take out that list of things that's been there, that's been haunting you for the last 9 months, and say, okay, let me work on this now. Let me get a plan together and move forward with my life. So I like this for you. The caution to be impulsive, to be an Aries, to rush in, because you're first. Take your time. There are decisions that are being made here. I almost feel like it's like a little bit of a mental struggle with them, trying to figure it out. But the clarity comes probably by the second, third week in the month, somewhere in there. Yeah, maybe by the time the sun enters Scorpio, you finally start to get that clarity. Okay? Because you wind up at a really, I want to say, a big crossroads for you. Because when I look at this, I'm like, it's like an eye-opening moment. Like, that's it. It's time for big change. Makes me wonder, what will you do? Like, seriously, what will you do? Because I think from the beginning of this reading, at the beginning of the month, and how you were in the first 8-9 months of the year, your behavior, all your actions, your choices, this month it's like you're breaking out and you're changing how you're reacting to things, and what you're doing and how you're handling them. I mean, I'm thinking I should be applauding you, because I get the feeling that you're finally doing things that need to be done, which is such a good thing. Yeah, it really seems like around that October the 10th time frame. You know how I always said like the 8th, like the 8th to the 10th in there, because it's a weekend. It's like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There's something happening there that, it just feels more fruitful, more abundant. I don't know how else to put it. Kind of like the birth of a new phase where things feel more balanced and more free, and you feel like you've achieved some form of success. Because when I look around here in October, I see like a celebration, but I think it's more of a celebration within. Not that you're throwing a party or anything like that. Okay? But there is that around the full moon in your sign, which is on the 16th. I think you're getting your, like giving up the struggles and getting your, I guess get your act together. That vision for change. What do you want to change? What do you want to do? Because it's time at that full moon. I think you've had to let some things go and see some things differently. But now, what are you going to do? You need to balance out your life, because there is an area for each and every one of you that has been seriously out of whack. And that is the one, it needs to be leveled out. And hopefully that's what's coming, because you need this big change. And it's like being able to take back your power and have some new growth. So this is where, like at the full moon, that you are really creating this new vision for yourself. And hopefully, because when I look at this, I mean, I've been putting down more cards as I'm speaking, and I'm just hoping that by the full moon you're really enlightened as to what that change needs to be, in such a way that your entire perspective has flipped. I think it's in your own best interest, and I think that you will find that you can move forward at a much better rate and understand, what it is you need to do. Because I think you've just been going, like, I have no words, all right? Yeah, this is the month, Aries. It is definitely time to get it together. Get it together, take back your power, and go forth. Because you won't, the way you're going, you won't enjoy the adventure, all right? You need to do that. So have patience with yourself as you work this out, because it's a really big change for you. But you're going to do it. You are definitely going to do it. I think that you're going to find that your emotions calm down this month as we enter the month. Like I said, I get the sense, because of this full moon being in your sign, because I see it everywhere. When you get to that point, there is a nice moving on from something. Like, okay, that phase is done. And it just sends you right on into. So prepare for the adventure, prepare for some new roads, and be ready to move on to the next phase. I want to thank you very much for listening, Aries. And